So now, when we are discussing about the indicators or even technicals which will help us to take informed calls, it's always good to follow a system or have an objective entry and exit, right? Entry and exit. So today what we will be discussing one more methodology apart from the moving averages, right? Exponential moving averages, yes, we can use it as a entry, exit, or even reversal of any system. We will be able to get a very good clue based on the moving averages. Today we'll be discussing about parabolic SAR, which is PSAR, right? So parabolic SAR means parabolic stop and reset, right? So it gives you an indicative understanding whether you have to be in the position or whether you have to exit out of the position. And yes, indicators are pure mathematics, and there is a particular reason for us to take utmost importance of it. And it's not that based on one indicator you will just take your entries or exit. You can use other factors, be it like what is happening in the overall market, or what is the support, what is the resistance levels, right? And even what is the relative strength of the stock. Accordingly, you can consider it, and you can have your focus in place. So now let me explain this by using an example in charts, right? So you see my screen. PSAR we mostly use for entries and exit, right? Entry and exit. Now if you look at Nifty 50, right now the chart is loaded with Nifty 50. And what do I do in order to take a decisive action on whether I have to be aggressively in the market or what exactly is the situation? You go to indicators, technicals, and in technicals we load PSAR, right? Which is parabolic stop and reset, and the indicator is loaded, right? And the indicator is loaded. And what do? We go to the settings part. Now there are two things, right? This I want every one of you to have a clear clarity. Sir, I can have more time in the market, means I can regularly check what is happening, or I am one person wherein I do not have much time, right? I'm busy with my office, or I am not a person where I take aggressively entries and exit very fast. The second person, sir, I have more time, I can observe the market, I do not want it to take a higher risk. If anything is signaling, I want to exit, and again I'm ready to enter again, right? So it is just the trade-off what you are playing. So what we will do, we'll discuss about two settings today, right? We'll be discussing about two settings today. Now, maybe we will take an example, right? We'll take an example with the stock itself directly. So let's say I'm looking at CDSL, right? I'm looking at Central Depository Services Limited. So in PSAR, let me go to the settings, right? Let me go to the settings, and what I will do, in the inputs tab, start I will leave as it is 0.02, increment I'll keep it as 0.03, max value as 0.2, and if you see, this is the dotted lines is your PSAR, parabolic stop and reset. And in order to increase the thickness, let me just increase the thickness so that it will be more clear to you. Okay. So what we are discussing is for the short term. So with a setting of 0.03, if you see here, same like your EMA, whenever the stock price is above the parabolic stop and reset setting, it is an entry for you. And whenever it is below the setting, it is asking you to move out, right? It is asking you to move out. So as you see, it has given entries and exits very frequently. very frequently. For someone who do not have much screen time, so what you will do, you'll go to the settings, and instead of 0.03, you select 0.005, right? 0.005. So now what is happening here? By selecting a little longer time frame, right? So you are giving more room. The setting of 0.005 is for someone wherein you can't check the market regularly and can't take actions very frequently. For you, this setting will give you more room, right? Your entry and your exit also will not happen very frequently. 0.03 is for someone, sir, I don't want to have more drawdown, right? I don't want to have more fall in the stock. Whenever there is a signal, I want to exit. And yes, whenever it again allows me, I will re-enter, right? If you see here, when it has allowed you on 30th of October, right? Even in the last 4 or 5 days, even there is a small fall, right? And it's not a fall, it's just a small correction, right? A 2% or a 1.5% should not trigger for someone who wanted to hold it for a considerable period, or even who have already accumulated some profit, right? Even right now also, it's not an exit for you. PSAR based on 0.005. Someone who are like, sir, I don't want more drawdown, or I want to exit whenever it is triggering to me. Yeah, whenever it is triggering for me. So if you see here, it is almost like 30th of October till 15th November, you are there 15 days, and on 16th November, it has triggered. And even if you see here, similarly, right, your entry has happened, again immediately exit, again entry for 4 or 5 days, exit, right? So it depends upon how frequently you do it and how much screen time you have. For someone who have more screen time and can continuously take more entries and exit, and in this process, there will be a lot of incurring charges to the broker. So we have to be in a discount service broker, or where the demat charges for buying and selling is low. Someone who cannot track so frequently, you can look at 0.005 on a daily time frame, so that your entries will not be very frequent. Even if you see here, even from July, complete entry, one instance of exit, again entry here. This is just 3-4 days, and again an entry. Until now, nothing to be worried about, right? Nothing to be worried about. Okay. And even you can consider this for many examples, right? KPIT technologies. Yeah, KPIT technologies. So even now, yes, yesterday there will be many people, right? So KPIT, yes, for the last 1 month, it has been like a very good performer. Yesterday, yes, just because of one report, right? Maybe one report, maybe like I think Kotak, right? The valuation is little overvalued, like that as mentioned, and because of that, maybe, right, there would be kind of a profit booking also, there was a decline. But if you just have an objective way of investing, you would not be, right, you would not be impacted. And short-term noise, someone who do not have a system, they'll be worried. But someone who have a system, they'll just consider it as short-term noise, right? So even yes, KPIT, even if you look at a very shorter kind of a move, right? Yeah, still it is intact. And even see, this is the kind of a entry exit. Someone who have more screen time, right? And this is a further add-on facility for you, right? Even Aurobindo Pharma, right? In the pharma, right? In the pharma space where the strength is being exhibited, right? Yeah. So this is a confirmation for us apart from the other things, right? Yeah. So, sir, yes, PSAR is confirming me that an entry is possible, right? Relative strength wise, yes, RS is positive. And even if you look at Aurobindo Pharma, maybe, sir, yes, it's at a good resistance zone, right? So this 20 when it's crossing, it's a clear blue sky, right? Even if you look under weekly, right? Even if you look under weekly, yeah. So it's like almost, yeah, let me hide PSAR. And if you look at it, it's almost like May 21, we are November 23. Almost like a 2 years successful breakout, right? Looks interesting. So, any indicator, it's not that just because of one indicator you just have your entries or exit. You take few more confirmations to take advantage out of it, right? And someone who are like, sir, I'm a complete beginner or I'm just learning technicals, right? Is it like everything I have to include together and look at it? Let me tell you, it's just that you scale your systems, right? It scale your system. So you are learning about PSAR, you have learned about EMA, right? You just club those things and slowly you improvise your system. So just think like this. Do you want to be an investor or a trader where you just believe on the news, or you just believe on the story, or you just believe on some news and just enter? Or you develop a system where you have an objective way of entries or exits, right? That should be your focus. And technicals or charts reading is not complex if you love the system, and you can learn slowly, right? You can learn slowly. Okay, good.